Welcome to the second video of Chirac a la Buena. I decided to add the date. Today is June 17th, 2022. My first video was June 10th, 2022. And I am just going to start kind of back where I left off a little bit, where I didn't get to talk about my teacher and the journey there. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. I saw some views on my last video and I thought that was pretty cool. It's a little like, oh my God. And it's like exciting and then it's like at the same time. So, anyways, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you a lot. So, I remember, so just to do a little recap is I woke up in 2012 and I did a lot of writing back then. And, I guess what's coming through right now is like when I did channeling, when I would write, I would try not to think too much. Like I would just try to like be calm and relaxed and just hear the word and not judge the word, not like assume what the word was going to be. And so I would just like wait for it to like sound out. Sometimes it would be a little slow. Sometimes I would get like 2 or 3 words and it would be, like a part of a sentence so I could figure out what was actually being said. And I didn't know who I was channeling for sure. I thought I was channeling God. And I wasn't expecting to talk about this, but this is definitely part of my journey. My dad, when I first woke up, like the first week or a few days, my dad really was, his third eye was open long before mine. He's the first generation, I guess you could say. So he's all about the Bible. He did a lot of Catholic stuff. I'm not into Catholic stuff or the Bible, but there were some things that from the Bible that did have stuck with me. So, anyways, so I just assumed that I was channeling God. So I decided to create a name for God and called him Mr. Godly Man. It's been so long since I've been there. I don't channel Mr. Godly Man anymore because it's not Mr. Godly Man. It's actually my higher self, and I call her Miss Higher Self. She's part of me, so I can call her Miss or whatever I want. Anyways, so during the channeling, let's see. I got a lot of information about a lot of different things. Yeah, I guess I'm done talking about that. So I just wanted to say, because I went back and we watched my video probably like 5 times now, but just before now. In the beginning, when I was researching, my teacher was on YouTube. He's on YouTube, actually. They left his videos up after he passed away. And he was with his twin flame. Her name is Nicole. His name's Mel. I should have said that before, but whatever. So they were together, and they actually were together for like 30 years. And they describe a lot of the ups and downs and back and forths of being in a twin flame relationship. And I really learned a lot from them. I learned that twin flame relationships are not that easy. I think some of them they run more smoothly when you're more in a higher vibration, where you're more neutral, more 0 pointed. That's when it's really like simple and easy because you're able to like recognize the difference between me and the other person, or the other person and me, and see like, that there's a space there, and like that person's having an experience and this person's having an experience, and then we're having an experience together. And so the things that I learned most about them was that they were individuals, because he was on the camera, on the video all the time, and she barely got on. But whenever she did, man, she just is so beautiful. Like her energy is like, it's it's like she just always lived in peace, like all the time. She never seemed like anything. And I know she worked a lot with Mary Magdalene, and the other thing that she does is she does birth charts and astrological things like that, which is super cool. But he didn't do anything like that. He just learned meridian energetics. And so I just listened to him, and he talked a lot about like the chakra system, the 12 chakra system. I know I mentioned that in my previous video, but I want to dig deeper into like the etheric body, because the etheric body, the way I'm understanding it is like water. It's a replica of my physical body. So when you have like an experience, it causes let's say you have a really loving experience, like a really, really super loving experience. It brings about like a different color. Like it's part of your aura. It like emanates out. Like your heart is part of your etheric body. So your heart emanates out a certain color. I believe mine's pink right now. Generally I'm in the pink energy because I just really love pink. Even though I got blue on today, I love blue too. But anyways, but it's the same thing if you have a trauma. Like the other day, the first thing that comes to my mind that I didn't think I was going to talk about, but it's the only thing coming up right now. I was taking a walk, and a dog, I wasn't looking where I was going because I was thinking of the music that was playing and thinking about, oh, I'm feeling really good about this music. And then the dog started barking at me, and I didn't even see the dog. So I don't even know if like it like gave me a warning bark or something. Maybe. But anyways, it got really close to me, and it was like within inches of my arm, and like I'm trying to walk along, and I like literally like lunged back and thought, oh my God, this dog is barking at me. And the dog was like barking and jumping at me kind of. And I'm like, what is going on? Like all I could do was like say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And like all of a sudden, and this is the coolest thing, I haven't gotten a chance to tell anybody about this yet, but so the road, the middle line, as soon as I crossed the middle line, okay, so it was like this energetic shield. I like backed through it. And it was like as soon as I got on the other side of that shield, the dog walked away and it left. Like it went like I was in like the front part of the lawn area. I wasn't even in the lawn. I was on the road. And the dog started walking like to the back part of the house. It was the weirdest thing. I was just like dumbfounded. And I looked for a person. I didn't see no people. And then I bawled my eyes out. What did I learn from that? Pay attention to where you're going. I did have to do some healing because I felt really scared about it. I mean, it made me cry. Like I felt so hurt about it. And like it's right here. I'm going to do some investigating about it because I just have been trying to like get through this strawberry moon, because the strawberry moon has like really kicked up a lot of stuff for me. I was kind of like, I want to do a video, but I don't know what I'm going to do. And I feel a little like, a little bit of anxiety about it. But anyways, so I'm just being real. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. I'll talk about it again, I'm sure, with the dog and the thing, because I don't remember exactly what it was. But I definitely do not want anything like that to happen to me ever again. Oh yeah, Jesus came to my rescue, apparently. He just told me. That's pretty cool. So anyway, back to talking about my teacher. It took me, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Actually, before I go there, I remember one more thing. When I talked about the animal communication, I actually was able to see my lion back then when I first woke up. It was a golden lion, and I just felt so safe with my golden lion. And I didn't know, like, now that I've had the experience with Eldora and Saman, um, you can look them up. They're on YouTube. And you can also go to their website, eldoraandsaman.love. Um, Anyways, they did a 222 portal, and that's where they introduced us to our lions from Sirius B. And I really felt, it really made me feel really, really good. I'm really happy that I decided to do that. Uh, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a 2-day session, I guess. Um, and I got to meet my lion for real and know that it was real. And my lion's name is Shakan, which is so cool. It kind of reminds me of Shaka Khan. And then it reminds me of Sharak. I mean, it's kind of similar, right? So, anyways, that's that. And then, what was the next thing I was going to? Oh, the groups. Okay, so the groups that Mel created, he created like 4 of them. I think it was like evolutionary relationships was one of them, and twin flames. I can't remember what it was exactly. I should have looked it up. But anyway, so the group that I was going to talk about, the one that's not connected to Mel, it plays a part in this connection with Mel because it helped me to harness a lot of like channeling and things about myself and learn about myself while I was learning from Mel at the same time. Because what I was learning from Mel was that it wasn't about anybody else, even though I still kind of struggle with this. It wasn't about anybody else, it was about me. I had to look at me, I had to see me. And he really, like, that's really the message that he always said was that you have to pay attention to what's going on with you. So in the other group that I was in, there was like, I don't know, I think like 10 or 11 of us. And it was a group where we, like, one of the first posts, we were introduced to the Arcturians. And the Arcturians, I had never even heard of at that time. I had heard of the Pleiadians, but not the Arcturians. And the more that I was in the group, the longer I was in the group, the more I was around like that kind of energy, I started to identify. I was like I just asked to see if I'm Arcturian. And I feel it pretty strongly that I am Arcturian. I kind of like, there's like this other part where people talk about, oh, you're not just one thing, you're more than one thing, you know, like I know that I'm part, like I feel a super connection to the Andromedans and the Archangels and the Sirius B Lions and what else? Anybody else? The Light Council. So, anyways, in that group, I was first introduced to the Arcturians. And so I started to channel them and learn things about them. And I had this interesting, I don't think it was a dream, but it was this super tall, like really skinny blue being. And he wanted to help me. I think he was trying to help me to heal. And he put these like golden stars. It was like a connecting golden stars. Like here's a star and here's a star, and then there's like a connection like that. And he just did it all around my body. And he just kept putting it in like certain spots. And it made me feel really good. It was really nice actually. But yeah, really, thank you to the Arcturians that did that. So anyways, in this group, most of the time, this is where I really learned a lot when it came to like sexual abuse kind of stuff. A lot of the girls in there were like, had sexual abuse issues like in their own family, and they were learning to like harness. They were getting exposed to one of the girls. She was more of like a advanced person. Like she was having out of body experiences when she was a child, like an infant at that point. And so there was like a long line of, sexual abuse with like everybody that was in that group. So I really dug around deep in my family's history, and I got kind of caught up in that kind of stuff. I still would do like channelings, and like I would just channel for 2 hours and ask a whole bunch of questions, and then I'd put it in the group because I just thought, maybe somebody could learn from that, or they could see from that, or you know what I mean, like they could heal something from that. So that is what I did in that group. And it was closer to the end. I think it was in that group for like 3 years or so. And it was closer to the end where I really started to like get closer to my own anger, because I didn't realize how much anger I had back then, because I had a lot. I don't have that much anger anymore. I'm pretty peaceful now, but yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the anger in my family, either I got the impression that it was not okay to be angry or to show anger. It just is, yeah, that was definitely in my family. Like my mom would get super angry with me or anybody, and she would just yell and yell and yell and yell and yell. And in my other parts of my family, like, was not cool if you got mad. If you show your anger, if you express your truth, if you say it out loud, it's like they all look at you like, oh my God, she said it. And it's almost like they all look at you like you're going to get whooped by somebody, probably because they got whooped for, that was my dad's side of the family, the ones that kind of looked at me like that is, so anyways, not trying to get like exposing my family for anything. It's more or less like just trying to talk about, mostly the things that I had as like emotions that I had to really figure out and understand, because I was like basically packed down into myself and forced to be this like other person that I really wasn't. And it was really hard. And for the longest time, I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like these people in this group, I was able to express so much more about like what went on in my childhood, what went on in my growing up, in my adult life, my, whatever the in between the 10 to when you became a teenager. Yeah. So, and it was really nice to be able to like relate and, be connected to people that had similar experiences, that I didn't have to not be myself. I could just be myself. So that group really helped me a lot. And it really helped, like, one of the girls in there who was more like the leader, she was able to, she really helped me get closer to my inner child. Actually, I should talk about this experience that I had. So with her and so I'm going to call them the 2 leader girls. That's how we're going to do that. So before I was in the group, I'm so glad this came up. This is so important. So I was commenting, one of the leader girls, she had posted in her Facebook feed that she wanted to help someone with their ovaries. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I could use some help. So I just put a comment on there. And then the next thing I know, she started talking to me in Messenger. And she was really hoping that I would respond to that. So, because she picked up on some things in my energy. So, anyway, she was talking to me that night, and we were talking about things that had gone on. I don't remember every detail of the conversation. I remember certain parts because it was like 8 years ago, probably about 8 years ago. Yeah. So, anyway, she brought the other leader girl in, and they ended up digging around and finding some things about me. And I actually had an experience with my inner child like a couple weeks or 2 to 3 weeks before. And I was really freaked out because I thought somebody was going to break into my apartment. And I was having all of these like feelings that I didn't recognize that just kept like coming to me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. Like I can't take it anymore. And then like one of the times my inner child decided to talk to me, and I was terrified because I didn't know that was her. It was the sweetest little voice, but it didn't matter because it was like, I don't know you, but I hear you. I don't know you. I don't see you. I can't look at you because it'll freak me out. So, anyways, I'm over that stuff now. Probably doesn't sound like it, but oh yeah, that's another thing. In my videos, I'm going to talk as if I'm in the moment. So you can feel my feelings at that time, because that's how people relate to people. Like, you're going to know who I am, exactly who I am. That's the way it is. So anyway, so the night that they were messaging me, it was all done on Messenger. I didn't know what to expect. I was just having conversation. And then they started like reading my energy and like helping me. And like, then like I had, man, there's so much to this story. I had found out that in my family bloodline, and I had identified as if it were something that happened to my soul. But apparently I've learned since then that it wasn't like me per se that this happened to. It happened in my family bloodline, but I had taken it on as an identity. It was part of me, and I had to process through all the feelings and get through all this stuff. So I'm just going to bust out with it and just tell you the truth. So I did a journey. A white bird came to me, and I did a journey with this bird because I was part of this other group that was a shaman, and she did meditations where we did journeys, and that's where I learned how to journey with meditation. So anyway, I got on the bird, and the bird took me to like Sweden, and I was like, okay, so I got off the bird. It was like a grassy knoll, and there was this house there. And so I walked up to the house. It was like a ranch style house. To this day, I do not like ranch style houses, and my mom owns a ranch style house. Anyway, so I looked in the window. This video is probably going to get longer because I just noticed it's 22 minutes already. So I looked in the window, and I saw this girl in there. She was like, I think she was like 14, 13-ish, 12, maybe 13. Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I saw her, and I just was like, is that me? Like, who is that? And so I watched her, and then I read the energy. She was scared. I read the energy of her, and she was abducted, and she was being raped every day. And I went back and I went back and I went back. I'm not going to tell you as I experienced it, but I basically like learned a bunch of shit, and I'm going to tell you. So she was sold at like 2 or 3, maybe 4. And then this guy bought her at 11. And actually, now that I know that, I'm going to go back in those timelines and figure out between 2 to 11, because that's important. That'll probably help me a lot. Anyways, so he bought her when she was 11, and she was basically the house slave of, he just did whatever he wanted to her, anytime, anywhere, whatever, didn't matter. And so so back to the part where they were going through all this stuff with me. Now, I knew some things at this point. I didn't know. I knew that she was being raped, and that's what was going on, and that's how that happened. And while they were messaging me back and forth, this dude came to me in the ethers and put his hands on me. And it was just like, oh my God, like this is real. Like this guy has been attacking me the whole fucking time. And so they actually, like, they really did a serious healing on me. And I'm forever grateful for them for getting that dude off of me, because I wasn't like, I identified as the girl during the time, but I wasn't that person. And so I, now looking back, I'm kind of like, well, why would he choose me to do that? But, whatever, it's kind of makes sense because I identified that way. So anyways, they got him off of me. And throughout the conversation, they introduced me to my inner child. And I gotta say that if you're not in touch with your inner child, you're missing out, because it's wonderful. I love being my inner child. I love hanging out with her and doing stuff with her and talking with her. Like, it just makes me feel so good. So that was when I realized, like, that I had to have a connection with her. And I actually had, so my uncle, this is related to the inner child stuff. So my uncle, his third eye opened when he was very young, at like 7. He had an experience with his dad. I'm not going to go into it right now. But anyways, his third eye opened, and so he can see that people have a replica, basically, of themselves on the other side in the ethers. To me, that's my inner child. That's her. That's me. So I talk to her in third person because it's easier to channel and to keep that kind of a connection. I am her. I know I'm her. But sometimes I need her to be out here. And that's one of the things that I learned in the group with the 2 leader girls. Is they taught me, like, the one leader girl, she said, well, I can channel my liver. And she's like, I just project it out, and then I can see, or I can read the energy, and we can have a conversation back and forth. So I thought that was really cool, because then it didn't make me feel bad about myself. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of like there's been a lot of blame going on in my family. So it's like I didn't have to blame myself for things going on. I could just channel my inner child and blame her. That's basically what I did. Fuck. Okay, we're not doing that anymore, though. We're not. I found out a few days, 4 or 5 days ago, that she was, I remember this when I was a kid. I used to hate myself a lot. And this is totally authentic, man. I hated myself. I used to grind my teeth and just hate myself for being, because my parents didn't understand me and they talked to me all whatever the fuck, So anyways, let's get back to the good stuff. I love my inner child. There's no doubt about it. Love the crap out of that little lady. She is my everything. I do anything and everything that she wants me to, especially if I can hear her little voice talking to me. So that is how I make sure that I stay in touch, and I make sure that I'm listening to her. And I do the same thing with my higher self. And sometimes I ask my little lady to go talk to my higher self. I'm like, if she doesn't really know how she feels about something, I say, well, why don't you go ask Miss Higher Self what you should do? What does she think you should do? And I innocently talk to her, because I haven't had anybody innocent, like, assume my innocence. Like, the way I understand, like, Catholics is everybody's guilty. You're to blame. It's your responsibility. You are bad guy all the time. So I'm like still trying to work my way through that kind of a thing. So anyways, back to the where they were helping me with this situation. They were able to get the guy off, and I felt a lot of healing from that point on. And every time I would go back to that house, I would feel trauma from that house. I still kind of feel a little bit from it, but for the most part, the deepest shit got pulled out of me. And hold on. Did the deepest shit get pulled out of me? I feel like there's something in my stomach. Yeah, can I get that pulled out? Okay. Okay. So that's what my higher self does whenever I'm struggling with something. I say, can you pull that out? Because that's one of the things that I learned in Meridian Energetics. So this is all part of my journey alongside of learning with Mel, is all the things that he was saying in his videos, I was applying to my real life. And I might have to go back and remember what he said. Because he said so many things. It's just kind of like now it's like in my subconscious, I don't even think about it anymore. I just do. So I have to like remember like what is related to him and what is not, you know, because there's so much information. But anyway, so that was the beginning of me opening up in that group. And it really, really changed my life. Those girls, they really helped me a lot. And I'm very, very grateful for all their help. Getting me in touch with my inner child was one of the best things they could have ever done for me, because I felt so alone and I felt so lost, and I wouldn't be as far along as I am today if it weren't for them doing that. So anyways, I want to get to the, let me look at my notebook here. Okay, so I was like, I need to finish. Okay, I didn't get a chance. Okay, I talked about that. Journey with mom, dream teaching. Okay, so the thing that I really, really, really want to talk about with Mel is in every single one of his videos. If you watch any of his videos, you're going to get an energetic download. It's a much higher vibration than what you probably have now, or it honestly, it doesn't even matter. It's like either way, wherever you're at, you're going to get an energetic download from him. Not only you're going to feel it in the energy of the video, you're going to feel it in his words. You're going to feel it in the tone of his voice. You're going to feel it in the way he communicates with you. And I actually recommend people to go and watch his videos, because it's going to make a lot better sense. If you're watching my videos, there's a part of you that is going to come along with me on this journey. So the more information you can get, the more understanding you'll have. And that's the best part about it. So in my vision for the talking, I'm just going to try to figure out what this vision is. It's kind of like it's blue energy, and then there's like a small golden piece, and then there's like this connection there. And when Mel talked a lot, I would say that he didn't ever tell you exactly how to do meridian energetics, but in his energy, you can find the mechanics of it. You can find how it works. That's how I know how to do it. Is I learned how to, honestly, before he physically taught me, I learned how to do it in the ethers. I learned how to do it in my energy first, because it was kind of like I started doing like meditations, and like when I would do the journeys, I recognized that I had cords, and I would pull the cords out. Now, another thing that you could do is go to Eldor and Saman.love, and you could do their cord cutting ceremony, because wow, I mean, in comparison to when I tried to do the cord cutting by myself, it just came right back. But in their cord cutting ceremony, it is way better. Like, it is super strong. They work with Archangel Michael. It's the best. So you should definitely go and do that if you have not done that yet. Yeah. So anyways, as I watched him, like, my energy would shift, and I would feel better, and I would start to feel better, and I would start to feel better. And he really helped me a lot. Like, just talking to people just helps. And if you have the patience to listen, you will find so many gems in just listening. Listening to me, listening to Mel, listening to other people that are higher vibrational beings. It's amazing. We all have something to say, and it's the best. So, okay. So we're gonna go into. Hold on. Let me just check in, make sure, because I see 35 minutes there. Oh, okay. I was kind of avoiding talking about this. So my higher self wants me to tell you. Okay, I'm just putting on a show. All right. So my higher self wants me to say that I am a healer. I am capable of healing people, and I work with the etheric body. I work with the emotional body. Because of everything that I've been through in my life, human and not, I've gained a lot of knowledge, and I've gained a lot of people. They're all getting in there. Um, they, okay, they help me. I'm able to not judge the information when I'm doing a session, because my higher self just takes over, and she just does the session. She reads the energy of the people, removes anything that needs to be removed. Any of these people behind me, if you can see with your third eye, they're my specialty team. There's actually too many to get into the frame, because there's so many different kinds of people. There's so many I'm pretty sure I want to say there's so many different kinds of, there's so many different kinds of DNA, bloodline things. There's so many different kinds of traumas. There's so many different mechanics to fixing the etheric body, to healing the etheric body. Most of it can be done through energy work. A lot of it has to be done on the inner side of yourself, because if you don't do your own inner work, you're just going to revert back to the way you were, or stay stuck where you were. With meridian energetics, the way I do it is I root out the stuff and then you shift. But, some sort of trauma can knock you back. That's kind of what happened to me. But anyways, bring him back. Okay. So they want me to tell you the most important piece of information that they can give is the channeling that I have to give to you, because I'm able to hear them and express to you what they're saying. The most important piece is that, because I'm going to tell you the truth about whatever it is that you've had happen. And they're going to tell me how to fix whatever it is that you got going on. Whether it's the sheath, the grid, the energy body, the etheric body, the mental, the emotional, I don't know, something with the feet, helping the feet be grounded. They have a lot of information that I can pick up on, and I can translate to words and get that out there. Is that all? Oh, it's to help you be at peace. I mean, everyone wants to be at peace. So I think it's been 40 minutes, so I think I got across. Yeah, okay. Oh, apparently my little lady wants to talk. She's beautiful, and I know it. I'm so happy I got to do this video. It means a lot to me. I'm so happy I get to do it this often. It makes me feel peace. I get to help the world and, and the people in it. And I heal the animals too, because they need love. And I do light languages, and it's fun. So cute. Yeah, I go all over Wisconsin and I do light languages. Are you trying to tell them where? Oh, okay. Um, we went to Dubuque, Pecatonica, or like around that area. Um, Dubuque was with the Mississippi River and the animals there. The Pecatonica River. Yep. Oh, we went through Tomahawk. That was it Tomahawk? It wasn't Tomahawk. It was trying to remember. Black Hawk. So one of the light languages that I did was I got to meet Black Hawk. He's here. Isn't that cool? I didn't even know. I had no idea where I was going. I had nothing. And okay, I guess I'm talking more. So okay, so like I was just driving and they were trying to tell me like where to go, and they had me like drive into this like campground, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like I don't know where I'm going. I had no idea that this even existed on the Rock River. It was so cool. I was in Illinois. I think that was the second transmission that I did that day from Pecatonica. Yeah. So anyways, I was driving to the Rock River and they took me to this huge statue of Black Hawk. He's a Native American. I don't remember the year, but apparently there was a lot of like bloodshed on that land in the water. And I basically went there to do a land healing, a water healing, and create a pillar of light to go up to God so that God could heal the stuff. And then if there were any spirits that wanted to help me on my journey and help me clean the land and clear the land and tell the other spirits they can go, or they have two options basically, like keep helping me. Well, I guess they have three because they don't have to help. They don't have to go home. They could just do whatever. But I asked them to either help me or if they wanted to go home to God, they could go home to God. And so I created a pillar of light and allowed them to go home through the pillar of light. And this was last year. It was so hot. Oh, and I took my singing bowl. Oh my God, I haven't even talked about my singing bowl. So I got this singing bowl at the Mimosa store in downtown Madison. Oh, cool. You can really see it. Awesome. Yeah, it's the ohm sound. Isn't that awesome? Here, I'll play it. I feel so much better now. I just love that. I gong it. I gong it. I do that. It kind of sounds like a bell. I think that's cool. I like that sound. I usually do a light language after that, but I don't think I'm doing one today. Am I doing a light language today? Oh, my little lady still wants to talk. So she says, I want to say that I'm so happy you came to listen to me speak. It makes me feel really happy. I know I'm going to be great because Mel told me and I believe him. Okay, that's it. That's so cute. Okay, I do enjoy doing these videos, that's for sure. And I just saw 555. Yes. Okay. All right. If you have any questions or if you want to contact me, I'm going to put my contact info in the description. I didn't do that in the last one because I don't know. I just didn't. So, anyways, I love you. I might keep doing that. I don't know. All right. I will talk to you again. We'll see what happens. All right. Ta-ta for now.